Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Chris. I am the Camping Stitcher here on YouTube and on Instagram, and I am back today, Saturday, November 26th, with episode number 16. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you. I hope everyone had a very nice Thanksgiving. If you celebrate, here in the States we had Thanksgiving, and ours was low-key and small, but it was very nice, quiet, a lot of food. We're still having leftovers, so I guess I don't know how to cook small for Thanksgiving. It's always big. But if you don't celebrate, I hope you're having a great weekend wherever you are. Here, it's actually sunny today in New Jersey, so I'm not sure what's going on. If you hear that scratching noise, that is my little insane blonde dog scratching my chair that I sit in to cross stitch. Ivy, thanks. Anyway, I have 3 pages of notes. I have a lot to share with you. I was hoping to get back before Thanksgiving. It didn't happen, and I kind of thought it was better that way because I wanted to get back onto a 2-week, every 2-ish week schedule. Kind of on the weekends to try to update you guys, so I'm hoping I got back into that routine. I have a lot. I had a finishing frenzy. I have some FOs I left laying over there, so I'm gonna have to stop and go get them because I wanted to show them to you. I have some cool things I've been making besides cross stitch. I have a little bit of English paper piecing to share with you at the end, a campfire story. So I usually share that at the end, and I'll let you know in case you're not interested, so you could sign off. And I have a little bit of haul. I have some more haul coming. I think there's like 2 things coming today, but I didn't want to wait. I wanted to get this Flosstube made this morning, and so this way, if YouTube took 1,100 hours to upload it on me, even though my videos are pretty short, I would have plenty of time. So let's get started. The first really big thing I wanted to share with you, because I'm gonna have to mail it. This is my grandson's stocking is finished. It's together. It's a stocking, and it is, oh gosh, I'm so happy with it. I have his name under here, so I don't like to share too much information. But this is by Stony Creek. It is on 28 count Joblin, white Joblin. It is called Santa's Train Stocking, and I used all the DMC, the fancy glittery stuff here is Rainbow Gallery. It's not like Krennic, it's a little bit thinner. So you kind of blended it in. Look at that little Santa. Oh my gosh, so cute. There's some beads on it here. And the train with the forest and the village. And there are 3 crystals on it. And I actually lined it in velvet. I just went insane. When I started sewing it together, because I finished the stitching on it a little while ago, it's so cool. The back stitching made this. Up until this particular project, I hate back stitching. And I don't know why. It's just half a cross stitch. I mean, let's not get crazy over it, but I started sewing it together. I just got it in my head I was going to finish it. It was the weekend that we had teachers convention, and I watched a bunch of YouTube videos. Handwork Maniac, I think hers was the one that showed a Stony Creek stockings and how to line them. And I watched her video. I must have watched it at least 5 or 6 times just to make sure that I knew what I was doing. And I still didn't know what I was doing. So I went looking for velveteen, and they didn't have velveteen, they had velvet. And I don't know the difference, but I will tell you, velvet is slippery. So when I started to sew it together, I almost had a heart attack because it started to slip, and I actually stopped and picked out the stitching and put in like twice as many pins as I had in before so it wouldn't slip. And I had a lot of pins in it before that. So I put in a lot of pins and sewed it together. And I kind of wish the curves were a little refined, but it came out well. And I lined it, and it's kind of counterintuitive when you make the lining. You actually sew the right sides together and you don't turn it inside out because you stuff it down into the stocking, and then you slip stitch the top after you put the hanger on it. So I'm really, really happy with it. It was stitched with so much love, and I can't wait to send it to him. And now I'm just going to have a heart attack and a hernia waiting for the postal service to get it to him because it's going to go out this week. So that was my big, ooh, sorry, I shook you. That was my big finish. And then I got a bee in my bonnet because I had a little bit of a stack of small FOs. I wanted to get them done for this season, and I really wanted to get them done, you know, for the holidays. So the first one I finished was Be Ye Thankful. This is Brenda Gervais, and it is on 36 count pecan butter linen by Lakeside. Wow, I'm kind of proud I remembered that. Anyway, I used all the Cole 4 threads. It's just so cute. I'm guessing it's a series, so because the Joy and Good Cheer has the same kind of layout with the bird here in the house, but I just, oh my gosh and a half. Anyway, I had it laying on my sewing table, my cutting table, and you can tell, okay. And I just put a little charm on it with all the lint and a little button, a little mother of pearl button. So that was finished and done for Thanksgiving. I'm telling you, there's a new term I put out there. It's FFF. It's a fully finishing frenzy. Just so you know, you can feel free to hashtag that. Then I finished the next one, which is the Joy and Good Cheer, Brenda Gervais. And it's also done on the 36 count pecan butter linen by Lakeside. I think this might be my favorite all time ever. Anything little small. Just so cute. The cardinal, the berries, the snow. And I just backed it in some gingham. I bought this at Hobby Lobby, and I put a jingle bell and a year charm. I've got a lot of those year charms. I gotta put them on stuff. I don't know where this fabric I purchased up at a shop up in Sussex in way northern New Jersey, and I bought it as a fat quarter, and when I got it home, I didn't open the fat quarter in the store, and I didn't realize that it actually had holes in it, like on the folds. So I've been using it for backing my fall pieces, cutting off that holey part. I was kind of a little annoyed, but what are you going to do? Anyway, then, because I'm not going to be so good at this one. I have to look in my little project journal for this fabric. But anyway, everybody was doing this, and this is just so cute. This is Cardinal Kin Plum Street Samplers. I did the lighter version, and I changed the color of the cardinal. I liked the red on this fabric. This is Up in the Attic, 36 count Up in the Attic by Fox and Rabbit. And the red that they called for, which was Cayenne, Weeks Cayenne. On this fabric, it looked very more on the orange side than I liked. I think if I had done it on a different fabric or the called for fabric, it would have been fine. But it didn't look as red as I wanted. So I subbed it out for Buckeye Scarlet, which is Guest, Gentle Arts. And I love how this came out. It's so pretty. And I glue the cording on all 3 of these pieces. I glued the cording on and made a holy mess. But I did the year charm and a snowflake on this one. This one I'll leave out all winter. They're going to go up in my Hoosier cabinet. But I'm really happy with how these guys came out. And then there's one more really big finish. That day, I had, if I could stop saying it would be a miracle. I had a lot of wrist pain, and it could have been overuse, but I think I kind of tweaked my wrist at work. I kind of got into a little hand-to-hand combat. No, it was just nothing bad, but you know how sometimes you just move wrong. So this wrist, this is my stitching hand, I'm right-handed. It was really bothering me in here and here. So I actually have to, I'm going to be knitting a couple of gifts, and I want to make sure it's really not bothering me anymore before I start knitting. So I decided that instead of stitching that day, I would give my wrist a break and do all this finishing. So I sat down and I made all the pieces for casting a spell into pillows. Oh, you see, look at that. You see all the glare. It's like a picture-in-picture. Look, that's weird. Anyway, I'm reflecting back on myself. Okay, let's solve this problem. I made them into all pillows, and I'm happy with how these came out. Now you can see it. They're a little squashy. These 4, they're okay. I wish they were a little nicer fitting in there, but I sat and I cut the foam core for that. I don't know whether the box is at a square or I'm at a square, or I just could not get the pieces right, because my intention was to always make these 4 pillows and to do these flat on foam core, mounted and flat. But it is done. I haven't finished the box entirely. I have to distress it and put a little wax on it, and that will be finished. You have to see. I'm going to post a picture in the middle of this video of what this looks like in here, because I'm sure you all know what paraphernalia lays about when you're doing it. But that is a Blackbird Designs. It's done on 30 count weeks gray, and it was the looser weeks, the looser weave weeks. So I'm not a fan of working on that, but you know. But just so you know, I got so much done in November. This is my book of days. And I'm running out of room over here for the whips I've been working on, giving my wrist a break. I am. You know, I was wearing a compression bandage, a compression sleevey thing. I found it at Walmart. And it really helped. It helped support it. I just had a lot of, I think I just wrenched my thumb, and I think it just made everything else, because I'm a baby, inflamed. So that was it for the stitching finishes. I was talking to, chatting with Stitchy Linda, and she showed, I think it was Stitchy Linda or was it Chrissy? One of them had, I believe it was Stitchy Linda. She had a bling tree. She had a mug tree. She had all these floss blings. And I honestly, I have to tell you, I have a lot of stuff for cross stitching, but I don't have any bling for my floss rings. I don't. So, but now I do, because then I got on a little, hey, I can make those. Little kick of, let's make all the floss bling, because you don't have any floss bling, and what's the solution to that is to make a lot of floss bling. So I ordered, oopsie, bling down. I ordered some of the Carbachon and the glass, the Carbachons, the glasses, and the this thing, the plate, and the rings I got from Amazon. The Carbachons, the glass, and these plates came in a little kit, a little box. I think there was 48 of them. I'll link them down below. It will be an affiliate link, but it doesn't cost you anything, and it's there. I did get jump rings, but they were kind of big. These are binder rings, so these are the rings. These are kind of small, but I have bigger ones. I followed Mama Loves You GB. She has a tutorial on her Flosstube channel, on how to make these with a little bit of Gorilla Glue and how you put them into the cabochon. I mean, how you put the cabochon onto the picture, into the little plate. So check out her channel. I'll link that below. It's like an addiction now. So I have plenty of floss bling. Now, I don't have bling for my bling. This is the only bling for my bling I have. I used to make stitch markers for knitting and crochet, and I just had this one. So I have a metric ton of beads. So I might just bling out my bling with my own stitch markers and things like that, because they're kind of perfect for that, I think. See, it's just a little... I used to use them to mark crochet because they have the lobster claw. Oh my, I can't talk today. Anyway, so that was a little project. And this morning, I had found a logo I liked, and I sent it to my husband on his computer. And because we have a laser cutter. And I sent it to him, and he popped this out this morning, and I said, I love it, but it's really big, and I wanted them for needle minders. So I posted a video. They're perfect size. I have to put magnets on them, but I just thought it was really cute to have my logo on a needle minder. I think I want to make some corner gauges too. But I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I might just put them in giveaways. So, speaking about giveaways, thank you so much for all the new subscribers and the comments and just the support. It's been really so welcoming. I'm not that close to 2,000. I'm like 16 something. So when I get to 2,000, I'm going to have a bigger giveaway. It's going to be a project bag, some bling, needle minder, if I get the corner gauges made, and some charts. So share, like, subscribe, comment, let your friends know. I would like to have that. I don't think it's going to happen real soon, but whenever it happens, I'll be having a big giveaway like that. So let me check my notes. Oh, I did have a question for you guys. I'm all over the place. See, this might be a longer video because I have a lot more to talk about. So I do have another blast from the past. I hadn't shown it in a while, and I remember showing this to my sister. When I was doing cross stitch in the 80s, you know, things were very like 80s colors, that country blue and the country pink and the geese and the baskets, and I made this for my sister, and I discovered it when I got back to cross-stitching in 2020, and I went through my stash that I had tucked away in a drawer, and I think it's lovely, but it's so, I don't know what to do with it. I showed it to her, and she was like, "Aw, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if I should make it into a wall hanging, a throw, a pillow, or what." I mean, it's so... Sisters are for caring and sharing. Should I antique it up? Make it look a little bit more... I don't know. So, you guys, if you have any suggestions, I don't know. I guess I should ask her, but will she tell me what she really wants? Or, you know, will she say she wants it? I mean, it's just so... And the difference in how I stitch, that's the back. I mean, look how much I carried. I didn't care, I guess. I don't know. So, Yep, blast from the past. Let me know. What do you think I should do with this? Should I make it into a pillow? Something that she could tuck away in a closet when people come over? I don't know. I found 2 more pieces too, and I'll show them to you. I'm saving them for another episode, but that's the blast from the past. You have no idea what's all over here. I'm going to pause for a minute. I'm going to grab that whip I'm working on because I want to show you guys. Okay, 18 minutes in and I don't know. So, what have I been working on? Well, the 2 main projects were, and I haven't gotten very far. I really should catch up on this, but Alicia, the fanciful flamingo, she asked me to join her on a little stitchy adventure last weekend. Well, adventure, a little thing that we did. It was called 6 in 6 on Instagram. And she was going to have 6 new starts and spend an hour on each. And since I had so many whips already, I decided to touch 6 of those whips and spend an hour on each. So I did show a few. I'm not going to show you all of them because I really didn't make much progress on some of them. But I did. The 6 I worked on were Live on Little, A Sampler for All Seasons, Strawberry Manor Style. I had just started Farmhouse Christmas, Christmas Rules, and the Crochet A Go-Go Advent Calendar. So this is where I am on Christmas Rules. So, like I said, my wrist was hurting me. So this is what I did in an hour. So I was taking it easy, but see, this is what happens. I don't get very far. And on some things I got really far. It depended on how it felt. But this was my progress on the next section, which I was supposed to be done with today because the next section, the 4th section, is supposed to be starting. But this is Christmas Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And it is a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to try to finish that for this Christmas. It's in my little, I do make bags, my little Christmas bag. Don't mind the zipper. And another one that I was working on, I kept seeing all the little house ornaments on Instagram, and I was like, I have 3 sets of those, the farmhouse, the glitter, there's one more that I have, Christmas Village, I think it is, and even if I made 1 or 2 of them this year, I can get them up on a tree. So I decided to start Farmhouse Christmas. So I have done 3 of them so far. They do not take very long, and I could kick myself for not doing these sooner because my husband gave me these like the first Christmas I came back to cross-stitching. So that is the first block with the sheep and the cardinal and the barn. It is so cute. Then that's the second with the horse and the chicken on its back. And then I just finished this one this morning with the truck. That truck is just adorable. Now, if you're wondering about the fabric and why it looks like somebody chewed on it, this is the called for fabric, I think is 30 count. Yes, here it is. Here are the patterns. The called for fabric is 30 count Portobello, which I don't know if you can get it anymore. And you know that if at all possible, I like 36 count and I like 1 strand because, so I think the 30 count would finish at 4.5 by 4.5, and these are going to finish at 3.5 by 3.5. And I just started the 4th, which is going to be, oh my God, I can't remember where I put stuff. The 4th one, oh, it's over there. And I'm not going to stop it again and get it. But this fabric is 36 count, 18th century brown. Now look at it. Okay, I did not do this, okay? So, back when things started opening up again, my husband and I went out We were going to go to a lumber shop that he wanted to see over in, I think it was Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And then he asked me if I wanted to go anywhere because, you know, we were all in lockdown and we hadn't been out in so long. And there was a shop that I knew was in Limerick, PA, which wasn't too far from there. So we went. It was called Just Cross Stitch, I think. Well, when I got there, and, you know, you could only have a certain amount of people in the shop, but there was like one other person there, and the shop owner, she was retiring, and she was selling everything. And I picked up a ton of charts and threads that I didn't even know what I needed. I just picked things that I thought, you know, I might need. So she had this 36 count fabric, and it was really chewed. It was just like somebody hacked off pieces, and she was getting rid of it. So I bought it. It was like really reduced. This I should fit 4 across, and I'm thinking I'll fit another 4 here, and there are 9 in that set. So I think I'm going to get all 9. I did not leave myself huge amounts in between because I decided that when I like to finish things into little pillows, that I give myself 3/4 of an inch to sew the seam. And so I left myself like, I want to say 2 inches. I could be kicking myself that I didn't leave myself 2.5 inches, but I think I can make it work. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So that is another whip I've been working on. So those, I did a little bit of, on Live on Little, I did a little fill-in of the water. So if I showed that to you, you wouldn't even be able to really tell. On a sampler for all seasons, I did like 1.5 words. So again, you're not going to see any difference with that. But it was really great to do that with Alicia. She had this brilliant idea, and she asked me to go along with it, and she's really the brains behind it. Speaking of that, we're going to have a community stitching Zoom tomorrow, so at 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you're interested, you can either DM me or Alicia, the Fanciful Flamingo. I'll put her link below, and on Instagram, and we will send you the link to join the community stitch tomorrow. It's just going to be getting together and stitching together. So join us if you can. You know, a little bit of downtime and a little bit of you time after the holiday weekend. So, okay. Oh, I keep saying that. Oh, so those are my whips. Oh, wait, one more. Ooh. Okay, so another thing that I made sure I spent some time with was, I figured the 6 and 6 was the perfect time to touch those Christmas things that I had sitting in my basket. And I really would have liked to have taken out Kringles, but it was just too much. I took out my Crochet to Go advent calendar, and I was able to get this block done. These, her designs are stinking adorable, and I just bought 2 more that she had. She was closing her shop for a little bit. I think she's closed right now, but she has just beautiful, look at the detail in her patterns. Look at that deer. I just love. And isn't that pretty? Now, I will be honest, there's a mistake on that. I don't care. It came out looking fine. There's also a mistake on the farmhouse one. I missed a row on the tray. It's good enough. You know, it's an ornament. It looks fine. If I didn't tell you, you would never know. I did get up one thing because I got really excited. In the forecast, we were supposed to have snow flurries, and we didn't have them. And it's too warm. It's like 45 right now. But anyway, my snow day stitch is going to be Quaker Snowflake. And I'm using the called for fabric. It's Haunted. Haunted by... Is it Pictureless Plus? I want to say. I didn't write it down. With the called for MPI silks. Can't wait. Can't wait for snow. So if we get snow pretty soon, I'll start it. I did see flurries, but I was out when it happened, and I didn't get time. I didn't get home in time to... This is my snow day bag. So, snow day, snowflake, snow flurries, snow squall, any kind of snow, any kind of frozen precipitation, this is going to be my stitch. You know, I make my own bags. I think I've bought like 2 bags, and I have stuff, so I figured why not make them. They're easy. This is from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. She has a tutorial on the vinyl front. I've seen some people lately talking about how their patterns are sticking to the vinyl in, I guess, heat situations. I don't ever put my pattern close to the vinyl. Maybe that's why I haven't experienced that yet. But if you are having a problem with it, I would say, you know, maybe puts a buffer between the pattern and the vinyl so it doesn't stick. All right, time for a drink, and my... That goes for you. You guys, I might make a record Flosstube today. I did want to show you a couple things. Oopsie. Okay, so I did the 6-on-6, the community stitch. I did want to say a big thank you to Marie from Stitches and Diamonds. We share, she's right, we share a surname. Our last names are the same. I bet you, Marie, that we are related. We should find out. That would be really fun to find out. Anyway, she gave me a lovely shout out. She said so many nice things about me. Her channel is awesome. I don't know, you know, I've had this a couple of times where I'm subscribed to somebody and then I'm not. And I don't know what happens and I lose them. So I had been subscribed and then disappeared. And then I found her again when she gave me the shout out. I was like, hey, I watch her. She's also with Angie Tiny House Stitcher. They are doing a, let me get this right. It is called Stitch and Chat Across the Pond Together. Okay, so you can go, and I'll link her below. You can go to their, I'm on page 2, look. So you can go to their Flosstubes. They have links. So the first Stitch and Chat is going to be December 10th, and it's going to be a free monthly chat session. You have to go to their, I think it's, I know Marie said her Instagram, and she's got a link in her profile, and there's a sign-up form, and then there's more information in the sign-up form. Space is limited, but they're going to do it every month, so if you're interested, go give that a go check that out. I should get all the business stuff out of the way. Are you going to the Jingle Ball? It's starting next weekend. I didn't realize that. It's next weekend. I have my merch. I have my shirt. It starts at 6 p.m. on the 2nd, and then it goes all the way to the ends at midnight on the 3rd. So I can't wait. I think I'm going to be a little bit late signing in on the 2nd, but it's going to be going on for so long, and their schedule is up, so you can actually see who's going to be doing a meet and greet, when the classes are, and so on and so forth. I believe that the shops for each designer, there are 12 designers, I believe that they're all going to be, you're going to be able to be looking in them all the time, no matter when you sign on. And the ticket's $10. It's great. I'm really excited. I can't wait. I think that's all the businessy stuff. So I showed you my finishing frenzy. I showed you my whips that I've been working on the last couple weeks. Now I'll show you my haul. I haven't gotten too much. Like I said, I ordered Brenda Gervais' two new charts. Santa Stops Here and the Rudolph one from Farm Girl Dry Goods, and they should be shipping at the end of this month. But as I said before, crochet a go-go. said she was closing her shop for a little while to catch up on stuff or whatever she does. Create. So she had these 2 adorable patterns. So stinking. And you know what? The pictures do not do her patterns justice, and the pictures are good. That is adorable. I just look at the bird in the tree and on his head. Ooh, so cute. That is called Babbo Natale 2022. I don't know what that means. I'll have to look that up. It's Italian for something. And this one is called Believe in Christmas. How adorable. I love her patterns. I also got her Fall in the City. I'm going to be starting that next fall. What else did I get? Okay. I saw this a couple of places. Beth Twist Heartstring Samplery. A few people have already made this. Love and Joy. That's definitely going to be a small for this year. I don't know when I'm going to find time for it, but I am going to find time for it. Isn't that pretty? What else? I had made a trip to Hobby Lobby with my husband. I needed some smaller jump rings for the bling because I had gotten those big ones and I wanted smaller ones. So I just picked up a few stickers for my Book of Days for December. They were on sale, stickabilities. And of course, because I love snowmen. Snowmen and owls, they're my thing. And cardinals. And all kinds of birds. I just love birds. Speaking of birds, Ozark Mountain Stitcher, I think on Instagram, she has been posting pictures of her bird cam. Now, I have right outside my window, and I'm up. My craft room is above the garage, so it's high up. I have a ranch, but the way my driveway is, the basement's kind of exposed and the garage is in the basement. So we put my bird feeders up by my window because of the bears. I haven't seen the mama and the 5 cubs. But I know they're around because I've seen people's garbage in the road. But anyway, we put the bird feeders up here by my window because nothing can reach them. And I have to just lean out my window and fill up the feeders and I can watch the birds from here. But she has this bird feeder. It's a bird cam and it takes pictures of the birds that come to your feeders. I totally put that on my Christmas list. I definitely want it. Of course, I'm there for that. What else did I get? Oh, some bow and needles. I needed some more needles. I've been finding that my favorites were 26, but I've been finding that 28s are really nice, even on the 36 count fabric. And I did get some threads. When I was in Hobby Lobby, I had gotten these and I'd sent one of them to Becca Sambry. I just picked up more of my Sasquatch. I think I want to make a needle minder out of one of them. And some threads from 1, 2, 3 Stitch. Just to replenish what I'm using in a DMC. Replenish what I'm using. I did also I am a subscriber to Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. I have been for a while. I used to do a lot of punch needle. I'll have to post a picture of I did a lot of Christmas punch needle. This is a fantastic magazine, and if you subscribe to the print, I believe you still get access to the digital library, which is phenomenal. This has got so many cute, oh my gosh, Christmas. Look at this. I know people have shown this. There are certain designers that are in this every time she publishes. That's Barbara Anna. That's her design for this issue. Priscilla and Chelsea, the housewives, are in this issue. Oh, they're in a lot of issues. They're regulars. That's what I'm going to call them, regulars. Look at this. This is by Jenny McGowan from The Blue Flower. Look at the pheasants. How adorable. This magazine is so worth it. You get so many patterns. Why not? Look at this one. This is by Autumn Lane Stitchery. If you don't subscribe to this magazine, the owl on his head is, I'm sold on that. That is so cute. Frosty, snowman and owl together. I can't stand it. I have to have it. So many beautiful patterns. Definitely worth the price of this. It comes out quarterly. Here's Priscilla and Chelsea's. How cute. Just, I think the newsstand price on an issue is $16.99. If you subscribe, don't quote me on it. I think it might be a little bit less, but I subscribe. The other thing I just picked up was more paper for my sprocket. Now, I did want to show you my sprocket. This is my little case I keep it in. Here's a little charging cord. I put the packets of zinc paper. It's 10 to a packet. This, I'll put a link to this. It was 100 sheets. I think it was $40, which is really good price. It's like cheaper than it used to be. The thing I will say about these little printers, they don't print like high quality. I mean, they print, that's a print, okay? Now you can see there's a difference in the blue. I tweaked this photo a little bit. They kind of can tend to be on the yellow side, so you have to kind of play with the color balance. So you're dealing with a printer that doesn't use ink. It's like a thermal thing. Zero ink. That's what zinc is. This is the size of the picture. It's sticky backed. Okay. It's really easy to use. Now, the one thing I will say is the link I originally put on my last Flosstube was to mine. And when I put it on, it was like, I don't want to say $89. And I went back and I checked, and later on the link was like to a unit that was $200 and something. It was like nuts. So I changed that link because I found that the $79 version. Now the price has changed because Amazon prices changed. But when I was looking at information yesterday, I did see that, and I don't know if it's true because I couldn't find it again, that they're discontinuing the sprocket. But there's tons of sprockets on Amazon for sale. Kodak makes one. Polaroid makes one. They're little tiny pocket printers. That's what they're called. So generally speaking, you run them with the app on your phone. You could do it two ways. Sprocket has an app. So that's the app. You click on that. Click on that. And it opens up, and you could see my pictures, my choices of pictures. Now, I did print out a few yesterday because I was trying to update my project journal. So I will go through and pick something, like I want to print out my grandson's stocking. So turn it on, press it, light comes on. Here's the screen with the stocking. You can edit. There's a little edit crayon up there. You can edit the picture. I usually go in and I try to, like, they give you choices. Sometimes I'll try to lighten it up just a little bit because it tends to print mine, not everybody's. My sprocket tends to print a little darker. So you can edit it. It has the same kind of editing tools you see in a lot of photo programs. And then here, I have one copy and I press print. Now, if everything goes right, and I didn't run out of paper, it'll start talking to each other. Oh, now see the lights blinking, and that'll tell you that it's going to start printing. I wanted to show this because, now do you hear it? I'm hoping it's not out of paper. Oh, here it comes. You can see the little piece of paper coming out of it. Literally, it's just that quick. Okay. So now we have our little picture, our little sticker picture. Now, if I go to my journal, you can see I updated some of my projects yesterday. And I just go to whatever page, I take the sticker paper off, stick it on. And now I have a, nope, stick it on. Nope. Now I have a record of what my project looked like. I have all the details of it. I did order a third volume 3 from Fat Quarter Shop. That should be on the way because I am up to project 45 in my second volume, and there's only room for 50 projects in each of these little books. This is what they look like. Okay, so that's the sprocket. Easy peasy. Like I said, I did see something that said it was getting discontinued. So, you know, do your own research. If you're interested in a pocket printer for record keeping purposes or just journaling or putting it in your book of days. I had printed out a couple of extra pictures yesterday. I'm going to pop them in the back end of my book of days or on the page that I finished it. Kodak makes one. Who else makes one? Polaroid. I know a couple other people. Canon, I think, makes one. Don't quote me on that. But pocket printers, they're really cool, easy, and like I said, this all fits. I could fit a bunch of packs of paper in there. This is the little handle. And the charger takes no time to charge it. Blammo, you could bring it to a retreat with you. Easy peasy. So let's check the notes, Chris. All right, I talked about that. Oh, okay, I showed you my haul. I have a lot of things coming. I'm trying to be good because I wanna be able to get some exclusives from the Jingle Ball. Also, speaking of exclusives, the homespun, oh, I gotta find the right name of this. If you haven't seen it already, homespun needlework cross stitch group put out their last exclusive for this year, and it is from might as well get on the page. Heartstring Samplery. And the shop that they're working with is Acorns and Threads, Janine. It is so cute. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. It's a chickadee. Have I mentioned how much I like birds? It's a chickadee. And if you go to the Facebook page and get the information, she said she not only did a black cap chickadee, because there's different chickadees in different areas of the country. She did the like the mountain chickadee, and what's the other one? I don't know. She said a few of them, but oh my god, it's chickadee. Oh, blank phone. It's a chickadee. So if you're not a member of that group, go check it out. So, what have I been watching in this last 2.5 weeks? So, my playlist this time is, I've been trying to catch up on Marie, Stitches and Diamonds, and Little Annie Z, Lisa. She came back and made a Flosstube, so go check her out. I'll link them below. And 805 Stitcher. I don't know why I didn't know about her before, but Tara, she's awesome. She has such a great amount of projects, and I love listening to her. So for your information, though, a couple of new things this week in case you haven't seen it. Julie, Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World, she has a new sampler out. It's called the Misspelled Sampler. Her patterns are available, I think, under Hemlock and Rye. So check that out. Doreen Jones, she has a lot of cute patterns. She's having a 50% off sale in her Etsy shop until midnight UK time on the 27th. Liz Matthews is having a 25% off sale until November 28th. There's a lot of small business Saturday sales going on right now, so check them out. Support the small businesses. Another thing that was going on is Luca-S. They are a company, a cross-stitch company. They contacted me to send me a cross-stitch kit to review. And I had looked at their kits a few times. Pam, Stitching Between the Lines, she's on Instagram. She's on Instagram and she's Flosstuber. She was stitching a beautiful pumpkin scene. It was pumpkins. I think they were on a bench. It was gorgeous. That is a Luca-S. She was talking about them. So they have given me a coupon code to use for all my viewers. So if you're interested, and I'll put it down below, it's all caps, Chris, C-H-R-I-S 10, for anything in their shop. And I'll try to insert a picture of the kit I picked. I think Mama Loves You, Michelle, she's also, I think they reached out to her as well. And I'll definitely let you know, from what I understand, when Pam was stitching hers, she gave really good reviews of the kits and the quality. Check out her Flosstube, because she was working on it for a little while, and was giving updates on how it looked. So I will definitely give you a review when the kit arrives. I'll show it to you, and I'll let you know how it is. I think it's actually going to be Ada. I haven't worked on Ada in a while, and I think it's Anchor Flosses. So I'm really excited to check it out. My plans. Oh, let's see. I'm going to keep working on the farmhouse, the Little House Farmhouse Christmas. I want to get at least half of them done for this year. Catch up on Christmas rules. I have to catch up on Strawberry Manor. I think Teresa Koga is going to be finishing that up in December. I can't believe next week is going to be December. And I think she's going to start another mystery cell in the new year, I think. And I would like to start Quaker Snowflakes. So if someone could, I know New York, and they got an unbelievable amount of snow, and I don't want that much snow. But I would like a little snow. So I would like to start my Quaker Snowflakes. My other thing that I'm going to be doing is, since the stocking that was my Sunday stitch is done, I think I'm going to be alternating my Hawk Run Hollow, because I did put in some work on that, and Consider the Lilies. I think I have to pick that back up. I'm not mad at it anymore since I stitched that big motif and had to rip it out because I can't count. Yeah, I think I've punished it enough for my mistake, so I have to take it back out again. My other plans is I have to make a little scarf and a little ear flap hat for my grandson. I don't have to, but I want to. That, you know, when they ask for something from you, I don't want to be that grandma that makes the gifts that are like, oh, that's so nice. Ooh. I want to be the grandma they ask, could you do this? Could you do that? And I love when they ask. So it's just, you know, that's one of the reasons. I mean, my husband go to Hobby Lobby was like, I needed to go get some yarn to do that. I have tons of yarn. Okay. It's all back here. I don't have tons of acrylic yarn, and acrylic is what I use when I make things that need to be washed. So, I don't want to use stuff that'll felt into little tiny things when they have to wash it. I don't want to make things difficult for people. So I wanted to go pick out some acrylic yarn for his little scarf and his little hat. I can't wait to get started. I'm just waiting for the wrist to not be totally jacked up. So those are my plans. I'm looking around. Like I said, I'm going to have a giveaway when my channel gets to 2,000. So stay tuned for that. Might take a while. Oh, future episodes. So I did talk about showing you guys how I organize my chart stash and, keep track of it and how I keep track of my fancy floss. My DMC I have on the X Stitch app, because that has, it's pretty, I don't want to flip through a lot, but my other things, I use Google Sheets. So if you guys are interested, I'll try to figure out a way to record my screen and show you, like, I just list, and I list the chart name, I list the designer name, and then I'll have a column for whether it's a whip or I finished it or I gave it away. That way I can keep track. So if you guys are interested in that. Also, one thing I came across, oh sorry, big close-up of my face. Excuse me. When I make my pillows, I've done them a couple ways. I've done the kind where you make the seam down the middle, you put two pieces together and make a seam down the middle, but you leave an opening and then you could slip stitch it. I've done the kind where you slit it and then you put something over it and you slip stitch it and put something over it. My preferred way to do it is to sew around the whole piece, leaving about 2 inches down here. I've got room for 2 inches. And I clip the corners and I turn it inside out, and corners, don't like corners. But anyway, I work on the corners to try to make them as popped out as I can. What I have been doing, and this is probably just me, sewing that together can be a pain in the tushy sometimes. What I do is, before I turn it right side out, I take my iron and I press that 2 inches, I press it so that when I turn it in right side out, I have nice crisp that I can put little clips on, or I could put a pin in. And when I slip that, it's right on that crease that I pressed. So I don't know if it was me coming late to the game doing that, or if sharing that would help somebody else that struggles with slip stitching. But since I've been ironing that little portion of the open seam before I turn it right side out, I have no problem slip stitching that. It's a breeze. So that's my preferred way, is to just do it one piece and slip stitch the bottom. And I do press my pillows a little bit. Upside down. I flatten them a little bit. I like it. I don't like it when they bow as much. So once I'm done sewing that together, before I put my trim on, I will take my iron and I'll steam it, and just get it to flatten a tiny bit. So if you guys want to see a little short video on how I finish, let me know. I'll try to rig something up so I am taping that, or videoing that, taping, like I'm a producer or something. Anyway, so one other thing I was working on, Nicole from Nicole's Needlework, she had posted a pattern for a quilt that was made with English paper piecing. It's Grandma's Flower Garden, and I think they called it Jelly Flower Garden, and I'll link where the pattern is available down below. But I have two more of these flowers to do, and then I do the multicolor flowers. There's 8 of them, and then there's 8 half flowers, which is just half of one. And then there's single hexies. But I am almost to the point where I have to cut 2.5 strips out of 1,000,000 yards of white background fabric to put around these to get them sewn together. When I think about what, this is going to be a completely hand sewn quilt top. The quilting and stuff is going to be not hand done. But these are some of my flowers, and I do this after dinner. I try to sit inside with my husband, so we spend some time together. I will do this. If I say one more time, smack me. I will do this so that we are watching TV and chit-chatting, and I'll just whip stitch these. So, and the papers, you could take the papers out. I made a bunch of papers. I found somebody on YouTube that gave directions on how to make hexies, 1-inch hexies on your Cricut. So if you're interested in the formula for that, let me know. I also have a link to how I make my thread drops on my Cricut too. It's just an oval, and it punches both, it cuts both holes. So unfortunately, when I made it, I didn't realize I was using something that was on Cricut Access. So if you don't have Cricut Access, and if you're not a subscriber, if you want this template, it's going to cost 99 cents on Cricut, but then you own it forever. So it's 99 cents to print out. If you have a Cricut and you have cardstock, I mean, yes, all those. I think that's it. I think that's all I have right now. I am up to the point where I'm going to tell a campfire story. So if you don't want to stick around for that, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me jibber jabber. This is going to be the longest video I think I've ever made, and I'm really sorry about that. I do have a camping story, so I don't think I told this before. So if I start repeating myself with camping stories, you guys have to let me know. We went to West Virginia a few times when we first started camping together. And I think it was our second trip there. We had gone to this place, don't ask me where. It was near Elkins. And it was called Big Bend. And it was a box canyon. And it's beautiful. It's very beautiful in there. But we were camping. And I think it was the second day that we were there. All of a sudden, the big commotion. I mean, there was hardly anybody there when we were there. And all of a sudden, the big commotion. Fire departments in the campground. And it's not what you think. It wasn't a forest fire. They came in. We had to be evacuated. They actually evacuated the campground because above this box canyon was a dam. And the dam was compromised. And they felt it was going to break. And if the dam broke, that campground would have been gone. So they came in to evacuate us all out. They were getting terrific rains in a very short period of time. So I think that's what the problem was. So we packed up and we were leaving. And as we were leaving, you kind of got into the campground on this road that went alongside the river. And the river was flooded. And you could see where, you know, that dam wasn't really handling the volume of water that they were getting. And I've never seen anything so scary in my life. There was actually a cow floating down the river. I mean, alive. It was still alive, mooing, floating down the river. And we got out of there, and, you know, that was in the days, this is 38 years ago, 37 years ago. We didn't have GPS. We had campground, like, paper, books, maps. You know, we didn't have anything like, you know, you can look on. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have, like, well, where's the nearest, you know, highest campground? So we had to, like, you know, get out of there, get into town, do some investigation, and we ended up in, I think the campground was called Spruce Knob, and it was the highest campground in West Virginia. We ended up there, and the campground was basically along a stream in a field, and you camped along the perimeter of the field. So I remember getting up in the middle of the night to have to go to the restroom, and I unzipped the tent, and I had my flashlight, and there were a million eyes looking at me. I didn't even know what to make of it. Just like all these eyes looking at me. And they were deer. They were all deer in the field. They came in at night to eat or sleep or whatever. But there were a lot of them. And I just zipped the tent back up and laid back down. I was such a chicken. It was just deer. Now I don't care. I'll walk outside. They're in my yard all the time. But, so I hope I didn't tell you that story. That was a neat campground. I remember going in, I don't know what the problem was with the restrooms there, but I went into the restroom the one day and there was a bat flying around. And all I heard was the high-pitched noise they kind of make, and I didn't know what it was. I remember coming out of there and telling my husband, we had gone for a hike, and it was the only time I think I saw my husband, twice I saw my husband get, like, nervous. Once was on a trail in there where I saw a little tiny baby snake, and he was walking in the trail, and I was following him, and he didn't see it, and it started rolling over because it was playing dead. And I just yelled snake, and my husband did like the most amazing dance, because I didn't know poisonous snakes were, you know, in that area, and he didn't know what I had seen. He just knew I saw a snake and he was dancing around, so he didn't get bit by it. It was like this big, but he didn't know that. Yeah, it was a neat place. The one time we were swimming in the river and there was a snake in the water, we had to get out. But they had snapping turtles, and you just didn't go reaching down into anything, and it was a neat place. We haven't been back to there in a long time. I don't know. After telling you that story, I don't know if I want to go back, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. Anyway, that's it. That's all I've got. I should be back in about 2-ish weeks. I'm going to say ish, because I haven't been able to really stick to my guns. And thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for commenting. I really appreciate it, and I will see you soon. I hope that you stay well and you get lots of time to stitch away. Bye.